G'day everybody, welcome to episode 10 of Caught in the Gully. My name is Dane Howe, Scott McKenzie, Scott Vozzo, and the man behind the camera, feeling a little bit ill actually today, our fourth leg, is Kyle Pover. He's tucked up at home having some chicken noodle soup. Just not man enough to get out of bed and come and join us today, but I'm sure Pove, get well soon mate, we hope everything goes well. And take it upon yourself to not use other people or excuses for your illness. Just man up and get better quick, mate. As always, we're brought to you by Eastwood Golf Club down there on Liverpool Road in Kilsyth. Big weekend of golf on the Australia Day weekend. Had by all, it was going to be a fantastic weekend, very, very hot conditions, but get down there for that weekend. Free golf for women, as always, during the February period, and the free ladies membership for women within the 20-kilometre radius. Don't forget the meals, the barefoot bowls. We've got to get down there and support them. They've been doing great things for us, and some big news coming out of Eastwood next week, which Voz will run us through for our end of season award. PJD Building, Peter Dalton, all things building, doing some super stuff in the building industry. He's also been a huge supporter of our cricket show. Right through, got all the trades from start to finish, renovations, extensions, demolitions, new builds, whatever your want is, head up Peter Dalton and PJD Building. Thanks very much, Dalts, for your support. Ulpali's Restaurant down there on Blackburn Road in Glen Waverley. David Cruz, super stuff as always, boy Cruzy. Got the 12th man bar attached to it. Get down, have a look at the menu, it's fantastic. The pub favourites in the 12th man bar, the beer garden out the back. Really, really good setup that Cruzy's got down there, and the support from him has also been fantastic from day one. And Race with Mates, Josh Henry. We'll get to Joshy's segment. The multi didn't get up, which tells me that Scott McKenzie got on, because the rules apply. If the big smack gets on the multi, it does not get up. And unfortunately, as I say, we'll talk about it a bit later, but the multi for the Basin Bears did not get up. Red Onion Creative, Kyle Pover, doing some super stuff with the highlights that you'll see. Go to the competition Facebook page, our Caught in the Gully Facebook page, or ftgdca.tv. A whole list of every single game that's been recorded throughout the year is on them platforms, so get along and have a look and get to see some cracking highlights of the season to date. Boys, just straight off the top, I just want to put a shout out to Harry Marsh, one of our umpires, who 2 weeks ago had a massive heart attack. I think it was the night before a game, boys, on the Friday night. H went in and had surgery. I think it was a triple bypass or something along them lines, but he's going well. He's recovering at home, and we can't leave out our umpires. He's a tremendous fellow, Harry, and hope you're going well, mate, from all the boys here in Caught in the Gully. Recover well, and we look forward to seeing you back out on the track making some wrong decisions. So to you, mate, all the very, very best.
Yeah, get well soon, mate.
Absolutely.
Just on that, let's have a just quick chat about the umpiring. Obviously, Scotty and myself, we can't really have an opinion, or Scotty can, because Scotty used to see a fair bit of the first 11 games. But look, I haven't heard a whole lot come out from our boys, so, which is a good thing, I guess. If you don't hear too much about the umpires, it sort of tells me that they're doing a reasonable job. Don't you worry about copping any fines or suspensorship. I don't want you sitting on the fence by any stretch here. You're probably best placed to tell us how they're tracking this year.
Look, we've had some good games, we've had some bad games, but that's, it's an opinion-based business, I guess. It's all umpires see it differently, even though it's the same rule. I guess they all see it differently. It's like AFL umpiring, they all see it differently. We had one on the weekend where a guy hit it through second slip and was given out LB.
What?
So yeah.
You're joking.
No, he nicked it through second slip. Went for 4, so not only did it cost
pad
us
first?
a wicket, didn't even need a pad.
Tearing it up.
It was an interesting one, but not only did it cost us 4 runs, it cost us a wicket, and that was interesting. But
that's a howler. If that's happening, we've got some issues still, haven't we? Really? if that's happening. Is it a well-known umpire? Do you?
Well-known umpire. He's umpired for quite some time.
Okay.
So,
your opinion from the boundary line, Scotty?
Well, we can revert back to our Nathan Hicks on a pair where he wasn't given out with that big nick from behind, which was blatantly out. Everyone at the ground. The video that we showed up on at the time on the show, the boys from Westfield clearly in there saying they could hear the nick from the sidelines, and the bowler didn't even turn around. Just one of those ones, he just walked running down celebrating. I do recall another one which was going a foot over the top. I think that was against your boys. Howie,
Quigley, was it?
Quigley sitting at Carrington Park. He's sitting, I suppose, horizontal to where the pitch is, so you can't LBs and whatnot unless it is height wise. You can't tell, and that one was blatantly high. Apart from that, I can't remember too many absolute stinkers. But like Voss says, I mean, and the umpires themselves, you have good days, you have bad days, you get good ones, you get some bad ones as well. It's just the way umpiring goes, I suppose.
I guess they get sometimes everyone always thinks that they just feel like they need to get in the game a little bit, but doing a great job for us. We can't play cricket without the boys in blue. I think they're blue, still wearing the blue, are they?
Yep.
In blue at each end, so keep going, lads. And even on Sunday we had a veterans game, and Ben Carnell. Now, I've played a lot of cricket against Ben Carnell, and I'm talking 16, 17 years of playing cricket with Ben Carnell, and he has never ever in my time, and Scott, you've played a lot of cricket with him as well, and smack against him. Benny Carnell does not bowl no balls, ever. I've never seen him overstep the line, and he got called for a no ball yesterday, and it was an LB, and it was out, the LB was out, and then we turned around and the umpire's got his arm out, and I've just said...
Was he filthy?
But that was just one of them situations where I think the umpire just felt like he wanted to get in the game a little bit. But anyway, we can't do it without him.
It is a hard job. I mean, you try and do it on a Thursday night at training. Like, I've tried to do it at Thursday night, some nights on a training. I go, you know what? I mean, my hearing's not the best, but nicks and stuff, I'm going, looks like he hit it. And everyone's sort of going, but I couldn't be convinced that he did. But it's a lot harder than what you think. But the heat, and look, the umpires are good. Because in the heat of the battle, I mean, I always have a few things to say every now and then when I don't think decisions go away. But then when you probably sit down and look at it, you go, yeah, it's probably fair call. But and they're good with the players as well, and they understand that it's the battle. Everyone's heated out there, and they did well. And one thing that they're starting to get better at too is the leg side wides. Like as soon as it hits the legs outside leg, it's a wide, in my opinion. It just makes it so easy. I think early on they'll, it's too close to the line, whatever. Anything down leg side should just be wide, and I think they're starting to do that now. Which is
becoming consistent with it. And boys, I can be honest when I say to you is that the reason, well, one of the biggest reasons I haven't decided to come back and play in the lower grades with my good mates, Cody, Scooby, and all those sort of boys is because down there you have to umpire, and I reckon I'd be terrible at it because it is such a hard job. So that's one of the reasons I've chosen to stay away is purely the umpiring aspect.
So well done, boys. Keep working. Just on the back of last week's show also, the grand final, we were not too sure how it was going to work on the back of the 2020 that got reverted for Upwey and Listerfield. But confirmation has come through that there is only one reserve day. It is going to be the Sunday of the grand final weekend. If, for whatever reason, we have to revert to the Saturday washes out and we get a little bit of rain also on the Sunday, the grand final will be a 2020 on the Sunday, as Easter is the following weekend. So that's the way that's going to be. But Voz has got a fantastic idea, and I want him to throw it out there because I am all over this idea, and Smack, you're all over this idea, and let's just see if we can float it and see what will happen. But we're quite sure that it won't happen. But imagine if this happened, Scott.
All right, if I was in charge of the association, I'd certainly be looking at the Norm Reeves grand final held on the Saturday alone, a standalone event.
The Coit's scheduled for the same day, isn't it?
Yep, the Coit scheduled for the same day. I would move that game to the following day, the Sunday, and get a crowd for them as well. So it's not that people are divided and go and watch that. I can guarantee you, a lot of people from the Saturday will go and watch the Sunday game. It frees it up, gives it more crowd for the Decoit game, more crowd on the Knox Tavern game as well. It's your premier event.
Reeves.
So why wouldn't you try and get Norm Reeves? Sorry, what did I say? Knox Tavern. Sorry, Cruzy. Love you, Cruzy. But so you get more people there to both games. Really put on, and especially for the home club, gives you a chance to put on a fantastic event. And it promotes our association as well. You get that chance to promote the association, promote the Coit. I mean, a lot of people, and I'm not trying to be harsh on the Coit or anything, a lot of people don't think it's a great standard or whatever. Let's go down and watch why don't you give them the opportunity to present their best day, their grand final, the two best teams for the year, and actually watch it. There actually are some great cricketers in that grade. So.
I love it.
And especially, I think the last number of years, the Coit grade has had a second 11 side from this Knox Gardens, an example from this year and last year, I think. I know at one stage Knoxfield had a side, our second side in Coit as well. And listen, this year the chance is slim, obviously, about both of those sides playing off in the grand final. Not to say it's impossible, but it's a very slim chance, I think. But if the situation was to arise where, say, a Knox Gardens, for example, had both teams in, it gives all their members and supporters the chance to come down and see both sides play, rather than have to shuffle between grounds. So they might go and watch one bat, then come watch the other bowl, or bat in the afternoon, whatever it is. Just removes that completely, and I think it makes absolute sense.
I think it's a cracking idea, especially with the Sunday being the reserve day. If it happens and we have to play both teams on the Sunday, well, so be it. But let's give the opportunity for that to happen. I reckon it's a ripping idea. Well done for coming up with that concept, and there'll be some reason behind why we can't do it, though. Can you imagine?
Yeah, there will be. I don't know why. I don't know why you couldn't do it. But
want to be a good reason. Want to be a good, Mr. Executives.
I know they're going to stable the reserve day for the Sunday. What happens if it rains the Sunday? Then you're stuck with the reserve day. That's probably the only issue that I can see, is that if it does rain the Sunday. Maybe at the start of the year they should have looked at playing 14 rounds, so you had that extra week up your sleeve or whatever. But look, it's just an opinion thing. And I think, I'm sure that we've played finals on the Labor Day weekend, because I remember playing finals, you always had the Monday off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was a lot easier. So we've actually pushed it back a week. But
with the concept of the one days, how do you think we go next season? I mean, just general banter, general conversations. It's popped up a couple of times about, do we go with the one days again next year? It seems to have worked pretty well. I know a lot of blokes like playing one day cricket, but also on the back of it, a lot of people like playing 2-day cricket as well. Myself, being at the top end of the age bracket, I'd much rather the one-day format. It gives you an opportunity to do both every single week, and you're not standing in the field for 80 overs on a really hot day. So, how do you reckon it will pan out? You'll still play at that level? Do you comfortable?
Yeah, look, I think it'll definitely go back to 2-day cricket. Yep. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, I'm at that older end as well, and I've loved the one-day cricket, but even a few blokes on the weekend, we're just starting to say they're getting a bit sick of it now. Yeah. Just that repetitive. I like it from a club point of view that every Saturday night there's something happening. There's a result, like happy hour at our club. If you get 3 or 4 wins or whatever, there's always something. You've always got a result happening or whatever. But I think they'll revert back to 2-day cricket. Whether they do it as 7 2 days and 4 1 days or whatever.
I reckon more 1 days.
2020s.
Yep.
Or whether they do half and half, go however they do it, 7 2 days, 7 1 days. Yep. I think the RDCA do it half, don't they?
Half wouldn't hurt. That'd be good. That'd be a better way of doing it.
Whether they do that, I don't know.
From a spectator's point of view, I think we love watching the one days. Like I said, you get a result every single weekend. Generally, watching the batting is a little bit more exciting. Blokes are sort of getting on with it a little bit. Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases. From a playing perspective, if I did decide to come back, a bit like you, Howie, I would love the shorter format. Yep. Listen, 80 or 75 overs, whatever it is, out in a 38-degree sun, it's not good for anyone. You can slap that many times, but the chance of still getting a little bit burnt is always there.
Especially if you don't bowl.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely.
You might not
correct.
get a touch for the day either.
But I agree with Oz. I think we're going to get the 80 over format back. It's always going to happen, but a bit again, for me personally, I would love the 40 overs.
Rightio, good discussion, boys. And the ladder, we'll get to the ladder towards the end of the show, but it's taken a bit more shape now. It sort of, it was seesawing there, and it was pretty clear cut, and there was a lot of gas. But there's a 1 to 7 now, boys, are a real live chance. And next round's games is going to open a few things way up. And I think there's 5 teams now that are in the relegation stage. So a couple of them teams down the bottom need to get going. And as we said, 1 to 7, real life chances of making the 4 with 5 to go, 6 games to go.
Yep.
So, and we'll get to the games next week, but we spoke about before the show that there's a couple of real crucial games in next week's fixture. So, it's going to be very interesting. It's a really, really good setup for the finish of the season.
The pressure's on the teams like Johnson Park and that who are sitting just above the relegation zone. If you're in the relegation zone now, you got nothing to lose. You just go for it.
Yeah.
Johnson Park are worried about winning, worrying about other teams below them winning. So they're the teams that I think are under more pressure than an Upper Gully or a Belgrave, because they're already there. Do you know what I mean? They're probably half thinking that they're already there. They've got nothing to lose. Just come out and play positive cricket. Where at Johnson Park, we've got to win. What do we do? We've got to worry about the results below them, all that sort of stuff. So the pressure's probably more so on them, Laurie.
Keeps it exciting, and this week in particular, like how we said, it's a massive week, and I can't wait. I can't wait for this week to come.
Very good. Before we get on to our votes, I want a quick shout out to Monbulk Cricket Club. I went up to Monbulk on Saturday to do a cap presentation to a debutant from our club, and it's the first time I've seen their facility. What a tremendous setup they have up there. It's well and truly, long awaited, but geez, they've got themselves a super setup up there. If you haven't been up there, go up there and do yourself a favour. The interior of the place is absolutely amazing. So well done to Jason Simmons, Paul Udding in particular, and the Monbulk Cricket Club for that pavilion, and also to your second 11. Played against the second 11 at Monbulk, full of a bunch of young boys. Keelan Story was the captain. Every single one of them fantastic on field, and every single one of them came up after the game, had a softie, had a beer for the ones that were over 18, and stayed around for 45 minutes to an hour, and they were tremendous. So to Keelan Story and to Jason Simmons in particular, the way that your young boys in that grade conducted themselves, it's what we spoke about. I reckon it was episode 4 or 5 that not enough of this is going on. So credit to you boys, you were fantastic. One young bloke in the gully, first ball that I was facing, he turned around and he said, "Come on, let's get this big shot caught in the gully, eh?" And that was it was funny. I really enjoyed the banter that some of these boys come out with. So well done to Monbulk Cricket Club.
On you, boys.
Good on you. Our votes, boys. Let's get on to the votes for this round. Head us off, please, Voz.
Yes, I went through it and had a look at all the results. I gave my 3 votes to Peter Dunlop from Knox Gardens for his 82. Obviously, the score was a niggling one, chasing I think 178, and they passed him about the 20-something over. So he really put them to the acid, and he kicked them well clear. I mean, I think he faced 50 odd balls or something. So right on to Pete.
Well done, Brian.
Brian, and he actually put on some website how'd you go on the weekend, and he wrote pretty standard for him. So if he's
unusual.
Yeah, that's
one of the biggest
we're not
wankers out
surprised by that, are we?
Wank factor.
That's out. First ball. He's got him. Ponting's got him.
He's one of the biggest wankers ever. 2 votes I gave to, may surprise a few people, but Jesse Christensen from Ferntree Gully. 4 for 15 off 8 overs. He's been bowling really consistently. I don't know if you guys have seen him. He looks exactly like Bryce Galvin when he bowls. Big kid. I thought it was actually Brycey playing, and bowls exactly like Brycey too. Very good player. Been very consistent this year. He's had to shoulder a lot of the bowling with Mark Butters not being there, the games that he didn't play. And so I've rewarded him with the 2 votes there, and 1 vote to Cameron Wheeler.
What?
Yeah, I know. I tried to find someone else to give it to, but I couldn't find anyone else. I was looking at Wixie, was it? He plays in the thirds. I was trying to get him some votes. But no, Cam Wheeler for 21 and 4 for 15 also. So well done to you, Wheels.
My 3 votes also go to Brian Dunlop. Well done, Peter. Super effort with your 82. My 2 votes goes to the man next to me here, Scotty Vozzo, in the runs again. 71 not out. Super stuff, mate. Congratulations. Great to have you back on the run sheet. And my 1 vote goes to Cameron Wheeler also, 21 and 4 for. What a cracking season this boy's having. He's just edged in now to 26 wickets and 300 and something runs. So with 6 games to go. So well done to Wheels for 1.
And my boys, I actually gave Cam Wheeler 3 votes for his 4 for 15 from 6.1, 21 runs, and he also took a catch. I saw Cam, so great day. Just obviously a bit different to yours. As we spoke, boys, I've got a bit of a point system that I apply when there's some sort of tight ones that you've got to toss up between who's got. And Cam actually came out on top as far as the number of points get based on my own system. So again, well done, Cam. Dunny, Pete Dunlop, 82 from 69 balls it was, but fantastic knocked by the Knox Gardens skipper. Continuing on his run of form, boys. He's been the last half a dozen weeks, I reckon. He's been in some pretty good form, and that's probably why he jumps on there instead of standard. But don't keep that stuff to yourself, mate. we like blokes with a bit of modesty anyway, champ. And my one goes to the great man over here, Scott Vozzo, for 71 not out from 75 balls. That's 2 in 3 weeks. Good scores and 2 knots, I believe, Scotty. So welcome back to your season after Christmas, and let's hope for you it continues on, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Good work, good work. Peter Dunlop, game of golf to you, my man. I'm not sure if you can, what sort of a stick hitter you are, but anyway, we'll get that off to you. I've also got, I've got a Decoit meal voucher from last week to give out also. So we'll get that out to you boys as soon as we possibly can. Decoit Shield, Voz.
Yeah, it was pretty clear cut for the 3 votes, I think, for all of us. Mitchy Goddard from Mountain Gate with 3 for 28 and 86. He is, as I've spoken about him before, he walked into any sides ones in the top grade. 2 votes to Darren Ray from South Belgrave for his 78. And I gave 1 vote to Cole Grinder from St John's for his 25 and 3 for 15.
My 3 votes also to Mitchy Goddard, 86 and 3 for Super Day. My 2 votes goes to Darren Ray from South Belgrave for his 79, and my 1 vote goes to Jay Wagner for his 65.
And mine, unanimous, boys, 3 votes to Mitchy Goddard, bouncing back after being on a pair. He was on a pair this week, Mitchy. Yep. Golden Duck last week, 86 runs. He's obviously taken our advice from last week on board and come out and smacked him around the park. 3 for 28 from 6 overs, and I saw he also took a catch. Great day for you, Mitchy. Great better batting performance by the Mountain Gate side. Obviously, no doubt to this massive contribution from Mitch, but unfortunately wasn't enough to get him over the line. We'll get to the results. 2 to Darren Ray, Stinger from South Belgrave, 78 from 102 balls, opening the batting. Well done to you, Stingray. And same as here, we 1 to Jay Wagner for his knocker 65.
Mitchy Goddard, welcome to Upali's restaurant, mate. The voucher, $50 voucher to you, will get out there shortly as well. Make sure, and mate, boys, can you make sure that you use these vouchers? I mean, don't, Cruisy's been kind enough to give these vouchers out, so just make sure you get down. If you're not going to use them, hand them over to someone that will. And also the golf, make sure we get down and use these golf vouchers. The golf voucher's worth $170, and obviously the meal voucher is worth $50. So it's value, and we shouldn't. If you're not going to use them, don't take them, and we'll keep them. So,
especially when you've got a wonderful golf course to play on in beautiful Nick, and also Upali's. We've all been there. What a great joint with great food, especially those that don't like the hot stuff in the 12th man bar. Get down there, have a meal, have a few beers, and enjoy yourself. Why not?
Well said.
Thank you.
Segment number 1, race with mates. Okay, boys. Josh Henry, a race with mates is his go. It's a horse racing industry that Josh is very, very passionate about. He's giving you a leg into horse ownership and horse syndication. What he does is gives you regular tips for Metropolitan mainly race meets, not only on a Saturday but throughout the week. The multi, unfortunately for the Bears this week, did not get up, but if you followed his tips, there was some real good value during the day. He had a couple of placings and a couple of winners also, but all around the multi, unfortunately. But super stuff from Josh Henry. What a guy. And it's also another thing, when Josh makes runs, the multi gets up. He missed out this week and the multi failed, so keep making runs. Joshy, he's a moral to that story. Go to his Facebook page, Race with Mates, hit the like button. If your team is the nominated team on a Friday, you must comment as your club, and if the winnings get up, you collect. If not, it goes back to Race with Mates. But to you, Joshy boy, cannot thank you enough for what you've been doing for us this year.
All right, mate.
Segment number 2, on a pair.
As we always are, brought to you by Adam Wild, Big Wilbur from Knox Gardens Cricket Club. That's the Melbourne Roofing Professionals. Again, specialising in colour-bond re-roofs. They'll get your old roof off, they'll put a colour-bond roof on, and as always, guys, mention our show, Caught in the Gully. He'll offer free gutters with every re-roof that he does. www.melbourneroofingprofessionals.com.au. Email him at info@melbourneroofingprofessionals.com.au, or give him a buzz, 0419 030 530. As always, Wilbur, you're a good mate of the show, and we do appreciate the support, bud, so thank you very much. Boys,
No.
on a pair this week. Wow. We tried to
How was your Sunday, mate?
this is unbelievable, honestly. Throw me a bit of respect, guys. I mean, I tried to throw it out there last week to say, guys, let's fix this, and you've absolutely just, honestly, you stuck your little finger up at me and said, buggy you, big fella.
Whacked your back.
Actually make it worse this week for you, almost.
No.
But I'm proud of us again, boys, because guess what? We've had success.
Really?
Yet
Again?
I think is that 5 in a row or 6 in a row?
Got a few now.
But I'm telling you, it's becoming a weekly occurrence, which is obviously one for our segment. But I'll get to them. But there's actually 4 boys. 4 guys.
Wow.
2 from from either grade that have come out on pairs. So I'll run through the list. It's significant again. I'll try not to take up too much of your time. Start with Josh Ward from up at Ferntree Gully. No runs. Kobe Law. Here's the first pair, boys. Kobe Law from Upper Gully.
New boys, a new boy to the club.
Good
I
bowler.
believe
He's actually going
I believe
right.
Kobe bats down the bottom order, right down the bottom order. You might not be the handiest with the stick, but I hope you start taking some significant wickets soon, son, because you're certainly not contributing with the bat. Get off the mark next week. Tyler Evans from Eildon Park. Jacob Evans. Now, Eildon Park also. Don't know if these 2 brothers. Don't know if they're brothers, but listen, Evans is a fairly common surname, but Evans, both from the same club, same possibly. Maybe it's the old man, you didn't teach him well enough in the backyard. If that's the case, if not, well, both is anyway, get off the mark. Bluey, Jake Belfort from Knoxfield,
Yes.
no runs. Simon Verone, Knoxfield's keeper, no runs. And next one, boys, is our second pair.
Yes.
In the top grade, and it's Adara Rana Singer from Johnson Park. What's going on down there, mate? What's going on? Again, can't just push one in the gap and get off the mark 2 weeks in a row at least. That is no good by you. Your side isn't travelling that well, and you possibly going to spend a fair bit of time in Division 3, young man.
You're not helping them.
Paul Wilkinson. I saw Wilco was back playing this week. I think it might have been the 5th game he's played for the season, but
Probably his last.
didn't contribute, didn't get off the mark. If you're going to play next week, Divi 3, I'm tipping. Our good mate from Racing Mates, Josh Henry.
This one hurts.
I just mentioned he didn't have a great day with the bat. He actually had a terrible day with the bat because it was a first baller as well. So Joshy didn't like reading it out, mate. Unfortunately, I've got to do it. Get off the mark next week. Brian Martin from Monbog, no runs. Mitchie Gregory from Knox Gardens. Now, Mitch has obviously had a reasonable season, I think, but it was a first baller as well, that. So no good for you, Mitchie. Lockie Jansen from Upway did not bat. Nick Freeling from the Basin did not bat also, so these boys roll over, obviously. Lee Waldron, Eildon Park, did not play. Yasith de Alwis from Eildon Park also did not play. Connor Horworth Hooker from Monbog also didn't play. Jakey Evans from Ferntree Gully didn't bat. That's a couple of weeks in a row, mate. You might be on a pair for a while because you guys aren't losing too many wickets at the moment at Ferntree Gully. It might be a while before you bat again, Jakey, but next time you do, son, you're on here, you are going to be on a pair still. Jay Williams, Belgrave, didn't bat. Matt Davey, I'm not going to go into Matt too much longer. He's given up, but he didn't play again.
Not getting off the list, though.
And Lukey Mannion, like we said, he might not be back until round 1 next year, mate, and you're going to be here until round 1 next year, my friend. So that's the Norm Reed's list, boys. Significant list, a whole page yet again. Guys, next week, fix it up. Decoit, boys, I'll start with the first pair of Decoit. Ben Lees from St John's Tacoma. You have got a pair, son, that is an absolute disgrace. Your side had a good win, I believe, but you did not help that at all, young man. So get off the mark next week. Chanaka Gunawater from Roval, Donuts, Jai Van der Wert. Now we'll welcome Jai back to Honor.
He was our first.
He was our first to get a pair. So you've got a bit of form, you don't handle this very well. I look forward to reading you out. Jai, I'll be reading your name out next week, I can almost guarantee that. Glenn Nevin from Roval, Duck. Siddharth Madonza, Roval, Duck. There's four ducks from Roval, and we'll get to it. The score probably shows why. Mikkel Greenout from Alinda, Matthew Oates from Alinda, Daniel Shaw from Mountain Gate, Patrick Liddy from Mountain Gate, and Ben Kramer from South Belgrave did not play. I couldn't see whether he did or not because he certainly didn't play in the first 11. I looked at their Divi 4 team and scores weren't there. So it's South Belgrave second 11, fix that up, get your scores in. So he either didn't play or he made some runs, or I couldn't tell you, but he's on there until I can confirm otherwise. And the last one, boys, our fourth pair, our second from Decoit, Andrew Bruce from Olinda. I saw Andrew got dropped to Divi 4.
He's paired up in.
He's made another one in Divi 4, boys.
Oh, no.
So I'm not surprised he got dropped, obviously, making no runs last week. Divi 4 made another dark. Now, I'm not sure if it's Divi 6, Divi 7, wherever your third 11 play, but I hope you enjoy whatever side that is when you're there next week, young man. So that's them, mate. That's for this week, boys. Please, guys, get some runs next week because I don't want to spend so much time on this.
I can't wait for the first guy to get a triple.
The form we've got, boys, it can't be far away. It can't be far away, honestly.
Please be that first person, please, because I'd like to see the big boys blow right up. Okay, well done, Scotty. Segment number 3, Voz's controversial rolling team of the year.
Really controversial, but I'm sure that there'll be one selection that I make today that I'm sure that I'll cop a message very soon off on my messenger from this certain player. But anyway, out is Nathan Walsh and in is Cohen McElroy. So
Walshy stiff.
Cohen McElroy now becomes our keeper and Jaden Bradbury on the bench. We're in the green vest.
Hang
He's
on
12th
a
man, JB. Just the water, thanks mate. Just bring out the water. Thanks,
Hey,
buddy.
this is big. This is big.
This is big.
Now, there's going to be significant questions asked, as Voz has said, by the little champ himself. But on the back of what? He's been in the team all year, and how can he go out?
I'll put it this way, he normally bats at 3. This weekend he chose not to bat. I'm assuming because they passed him one down. He didn't come in at number 3, came in at number 4.
So you're dropping for that?
Well, someone's overtaken him now. So he made that decision, obviously.
So on the back of his
Too hot for him to bat.
He's made 304 runs. How many runs has Cohen made?
306.
Oh. Dismissal-wise, how are they looking dismissal-wise?
They're both on, I think, 11 or 12 dismissals.
So, and JB loses his spot on the back of a bloke passing him by 2 runs. No disrespect to Co, but is that...
Well, if you win on Saturday by 2 runs, do you get all the
he's
points,
got it.
or?
Surely he's got some credits in the bank, Scotty, for being in the side all year. And how can he?
It's statistic based, so I can't.
Well,
I can't dodge it.
Let's just my cricket statistic rolling team.
I personally think Little Princess is a little bit stiff, to be honest. I really do.
Choose not to bat at your own peril.
Okay, read your team out.
And I had great pleasure in reading that out.
I'm sure you did.
It would have been too hot for him. He would have had his top off, and he would have gone, "I'm not batting today."
Yeah, I'm going to tear it up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's cost him. Bad luck, mate. My Decoit team of the
You
year.
haven't read the team out.
Oh, sorry, I should do that first. Aaron Brunner, Blake Walter, Jackson Waters. Peter Dunlop now becomes the highest run scorer for the grade. So well done, Peter.
Well done,
I'm sure if you haven't heard it already, I'm sure you will eventually, but he is that. Anthony Brolick, Cohen McElroy. Well done. He's our keeper. Cam Wheeler scrapes in as our all-rounder. Jake Sheriff and Blake Walter are just hanging on by a thread at the moment.
I'm going to question you about Blake when you finish.
Tim Shivers, Duncan Marr and Cam Cosick with our 12th man, Jaden Bradbury.
Righto. Now, statistics say that Blake Walter's still in your side, yes, but geez, he's having a couple of weeks. He's in a bit of a flat patch, isn't he, at the moment? He still holds his spot, base and orientated.
He looked a lot better on the weekend, so I fear for the next few games coming up that he'll go really well. And same with the chef, he's been struggling a little bit. So I think these two are ready to open up, and they strategically planned it that they'll be hitting form come finals time. So we've got a program down there.
Help me out, mate. Come on.
No, I can only put it down to that. There's some of the guys are back in and around the same position that haven't quite overtaken Blakey. But I said to Voz before the show that it must be 4 weeks now that Blake hasn't got a. Now I might be wrong, but a score over 20 I'm possibly incorrect. Apologies if I am wrong, Blakey, but obviously your form is not where it was at the start of the season. But if others aren't performing well enough to overtake him, well then again, it's your team, Voz, and your decision. Joe, I'm sure both boys are absolute guns. They've got to bounce back. But yeah, a little bit controversial, I would have thought, Howie.
Can JB find his way back in the team just as a bat? If he continues to make runs?
Yeah, he's not far away.
Okay, righto. Good luck.
But there's about 4 or 5 players in that mix that I think even Joey Morcello is a keeper as well. So we've got, I think Cohen, JB and Joey Morcello are all within 10 runs of each other. So you wouldn't want to be a keeper. Just put it that way. Well, actually, you know what? I might even go without a keeper.
True. Decoy Shield rolling team of the year, please, Scott.
Righto, Decoy team of the year. Same thing. We've got 2 changes. Out is Big Taff from Alinda.
In and out.
And Alex Walker, who was 12th man last game, he dropped the drink, so he's out. In comes Tim Scott from Alinda. Been impressed by his recent form. He's actually, I think he's got a batting average of about 70. So well done to him. And Kyle Grender comes into the side. So my side reads Alex Ferguson, Jake Sarley, Daniel Cormack, Kyle Chandler, Dylan Wild, Michael Hyatt, Monto Pereira, Luke Turner, Harley McDermott, Nixon Adcock, Kyle Grender, and Tim Scott is the 12th man as we sit.
That one's okay. I don't mind that one. So we've spent enough time on the big one, and that one's okay. So good on you, Roz.
Thank you.
Segment number 4, Smacks Whack.
All right, thanks, Howie. Smack Swack, as always, we're proudly brought to you by Aloft Roofing, which is Scotty and Ben Gerloff. All aspects of roof plumbing, homes, garages, pergolas, fascias, gutters, all that. No job too big or small. Jump on their Instagram page at Aloft Roofing, or give young Smoother Benny a call on 0416 607 752. As always, boys, really appreciate your support. And like I said last week, I hope your business gets going really soon and you start making a good living. Boys, Smack Swack. I'm going to start this week by, I suppose, again, turning on one of our own a little bit. Howie mentioned it at the top of the show. Kyle Pover, absent again today because he's unwell, apparently. Now, listen, maybe he can't help being unwell. I'm hoping, like hell, that he is unwell. Not that I'm doubting you, mate, but you know what? Anyway, I suppose the clip this week for Poves is more to the fact that he's blamed our main sponsor of this segment for the fact that he's crook. He's come out and blamed Benny Gerloff now for being unwell. He reckons Benny's passed it on to him.
Do they live with each other or something?
The 2 boys play cricket together in the same cricket side. Both boys play for Templeton down there. Currently both in the first 11 at Templeton Cricket Club in the RDCA. He's sent us a message pre-show telling us that the major sponsor of this segment has passed on the illness to him. So please, don't blame the sponsor of our segment. I'm going to get a sponsor next season if you keep on blaming them and putting their name out there like that, young man. So, I hope you get well if you are unwell. But next time, just come up with another excuse and don't blame our sponsor, mate. That's ridiculous, to be honest. Second clip, obviously, to the 4 boys, 4 in 1 week that have got a pair. Kobe Law from Upper Gully, Rana Singer from JP, Ben Lee, St. John's, and Andrew Bruce from Alinda. Boys, you're not contributing to your side or helping win any games when you can't get off the mark, like. So just honestly fix it. Like I said, the list is far too long in particular, let alone you having to waste a little bit more time because you guys have made 2 ducks in a row, and now guess what, you're all there next week as well. So boys, fix it next week. Next one, this is probably this is a clip as well. The Aussie men's cricket team lost a series, boys, as we know, 2-1 to the Indians, to the Indian second, if not third 11 side. It's the first test we've actually lost at the Gabba since, I think it's 1988, which is 32 years ago. They were outplayed by the Indian second or third 11. Our boys haven't been performing. We all love Test cricket, boys. I'm one of these guys who can sit there, watch it day in, day out. And we're all very opinionated and passionate about our Aussie men's cricket team. And I think we all would have expected us to come away winning that last game.
How about trying to bowl them out though, Scott, instead of knocking them out?
Yeah, correct. Bowl good areas, and a little clip also to Tim Payne. I know he's been sort of he's copped it a bit in the media, but some of the tactics and the field placements he said, especially on that last day when we needed 10 wickets, no, to me that was blow stand. I think some fairly experienced ex-Aussie players have come out giving their opinion on it. Little clip there for Tim as well.
A couple of the internationals too. KP got hold of him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, boys, you're disappointed the nation, to be honest. And to the Aussie cricket team, I hope your next series, I think it's South Africa, you certainly turn that form around, because we can't be disappointed 2 series in a row, let's be honest.
Nope.
Now, the next one is, now talking about that series, my ex-teammate at Knoxfield, now he's down with Ben Gerloff and Cole Pover.
He'll be cooked too, will he?
He's he probably will be crooked, to be honest. But Artie Sundaresh, I believe Artie watches the show. For his behaviour and ranting and raving and spruiking after the Indians won that Test series, he's put a couple of comments on there. Oh, where's Scotty McKenzie now? I think because I must have commented on something when we rolled at 36 or whatever. But do you know what, Artie? I'd love to be blessed if I had I couldn't lose either way, because you're an Australian-born Indian player. He's obviously his parents are from India. But when Australia wins, he goes for Australia. When India wins, he goes for India. It'd be absolutely wonderful if, regardless, you can't lose. Honestly, if Australia had won that last year, he would have been going for Australia. That's the sort of bloke he is. So pick your country, mate, honestly. Man, you jump on their bandwagons. Admittedly, I've been to like a one-day at the G once before, and Artie sits in with the Swami Army wearing his Indian one-day top. But also, he has a T-shirt on underneath, because if we go out to the precinct or somewhere afterwards, he'll rip his Indian top off and then start screaming for Australia. He's done that before, so Artie, it's not good enough, mate. Don't go commenting and posting photos all about India. He would have been doing the same if it was Australia that won, mate. It's not a terrible disgrace. We'll pick one side, mate.
Fair enough.
And boys, I think that's pretty much it. That's Max Back for this week.
Like it.
Yeah, I can't say anymore. I'm a little bit rattled by Artie, to be honest. It frustrates me that much.
Yeah, no, I like it. Well done, Scotty Mac. Beautiful with your smack. Segment number 5, the lower local grade heroes. Scott Vozzo.
Yes, thank you.
Another long list.
We've got another long list. Some remarkable efforts in here. Gavin Bowden from Listerfield with 5 for 30. Daniel Seymour, Knoxfield, 4 for 26. There's some harder names coming up here too that I'm going to struggle with, just pre-warning. Dharmesh Harani with 79 not out from JP. Sam Brown, 101 from Upley.
Brown dog. Didn't he enjoy it? He got a free pizza voucher. He got the Dunga mug, and he was well and truly away on Saturday night. Brown dog.
Well done. Is that his first 100?
No.
No. Well done. Oh, well done anyway. This is an interesting one. Gursim Ratpal Singh. From JP made 87, so hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. Michael Jansen from Knoxfield, 5 for 7, and he's my player of the round. So well done to Michael Jansen. 5 for 7 is fairly impressive figures.
Good luck, Brownie.
Craig Everett, 76 from Knox City. Michael Marsden from Oroville with 4 for 16. Patrick Otten from South Belgrave for 81. Doug Barton, 4 for 23 from Mountain Gate. I think he's been in here a couple of times. Monahar Izarapu from Mountain Gate, 4 for 20.
Well done, mate.
Good.
Jake Wheeler, 5 for 12. Well done. And Daniel Wall, Furniture Gully, made 90. So well done to all of them, but Michael Jansen from Knoxfield, 5 for 7. I do apologise to Sam Brown, but you played up way, mate, so there's probably going to be
there isn't
getting
any. There isn't any.
Thank you.
Well done, boys, in the lower grades. It's good stuff. The way that a couple of these boys are peeling off ducks and pears, you'll find yourself in playing high cricket. You keep this standard up. So
Absolutely.
Good on you to the boys in the lower grades.
It's funny, I'm actually getting people from our club going, from our twos going, why I'm waiting, his mum, Jared Debonati's mum rang him up and said, oh, you weren't mentioned. Playing the seconds. But Michael Rawnsley wanted me to mention because he doesn't bowl and took 4 for this weekend. So.
Okay. So just to clarify it, it's Division what and below?
5 and below.
Okay.
So we decided that Division 3 and 4 is the second 11, but they should be aspiring to play ones cricket.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then if you're crap, you end up in the 5th and Division 5 and below, and you've got a chance.
Okay. All right. Well done, boys. As we said, we'll kick into the results for the last round. Now I'm going to go straight to you, Scott Vozzo, because you look like a little boy lost, and I felt so sorry for you last week when I disrespected you and didn't get you. So can you kick us off, mate?
I wasn't happy.
Kick us off with the first game, please, mate.
Okay, I've got Belgrave taking on Knox Gardens at home. I think it's the second week in a row that Knox Gardens have won the toss and elected to bowl first. Belgrave made 7 for 178. With Aaron Brunner making 37, Chad Hitchcock 37, Jordan King 33, Luke Spence 26. Best of the bowlers for Knox Gardens was Drew Withers with 2 for 20, and Josh McGowan 2 for 24. In reply, I took him 25.1 overs. I mean, obviously Belgrade's not a big ground, but Peter Dunlop making 82. Joe Marcello 63 and Jack Taylor 24. Aaron Brunner was the best of the bowlers with 2 for 35, finishing at 3 for 183. It was pretty convincing in the end, I think.
Yeah, look, Belgrave, again, I'm not quite sure what's going on down there at the same time, but we spoke about Knox Gardens. They're just fine. They're going really well. They're coming good. They've got, I think they double up against some tough teams with the teams that they play twice, but they're doing everything right. Knox Gardens at the minute, so well done to the boys down there. I'll do the next one, boys. It's my boys versus Monbulk. Upway won the toss and elected to bat. Off their 40 overs, they compiled 6 for 166 with Jordan Dunstan making 32. The debutant Hunter Greenall making 25 at the top of the order. Andrew Evans 24 and Cameron Wheeler 21. The best of the bowlers for Monbulk was Warney with 3 for 31 and Josh Spencer 2 for 21. In response, Monbulk were bowled out 35.1 overs with Justin Creed making 36, Aaron Powell 36. The bowling for Upway, Cameron Wheeler 4 for 15, Jay Colley 2 for 22 against one of his old mobs, Jackson Waters 2 for 24, and another debutant in his first game in the first 11 at Upway, Steve Collard 2 for 39. Boys, this game, we were following it on My Cricket. I was quite sure a few other people were. This wasn't as convincing, or not convincing, but as clear cut as this looks. So we were in a bit of trouble at one stage. I think Monbulk needed 30 off 7 or 8 with 5 wickets down. Aaron Powell going along beautifully. The only thing that sort of had us at our advantage was every single bowler had 3 to 4 overs still. So it wasn't like we were talking maybe round 2 or 3 when Voz was saying if a bloke is going, just bowl him out, bowl for the now, not for the end. But it was captained well that every Upway player had 3 to 4 overs to go. So when you got the likes of Wheels with 3 up your sleeve with 7 to go, it's not a bad thing. But they put up a fair dinkum fight, Monbulk, and at one stage there, I don't think it was under complete control from the Tiger.
You obviously had 2 changes that you read out then, Howie.
Yep.
Hunter Greenall, obviously, I think he's been knocking on the door for a while.
Yeah.
The young fellow, he's been going really well in the twos. Was there a reason two guys unavailable, 2 guys got dropped?
Yeah, it was that old wedding factor. There was one guy, Jules Whetstone, had a university exam, which is a bit weird on a Saturday, but that's the way it panned out. He had an exam between 12 and 3 that he had to attend. He ended up coming here and sub-fielded for me, which was much appreciated, Jules, after the hamstring twinge. And Steve Cannell had a wedding. And so did Sam Waters. Sam Waters had a wedding in the 2, so that was why 2 guys went up. We had to get 3 to sort of 2 out of the 2s plus Sam Waters, so we had to replace a fair bit that way. But it was good on, as I said, Hunter Greenall, well deserved, and so Steve Collard. Steve Collard's far too good to be playing 2s, and so is Hunter. Hunter will be playing in a lot of 1s clubs. They got their chance, and now it's up to them to hold their spot, and the selection panel to change it if they have to.
Yep. No, good win for the Tigers. They keep rolling on, don't they?
Yep. Scotty with the next one.
I got JP versus Ferntree Gully. Ferntree Gully won the toss and actually sent JP into bat, and by the looks of it, it was a wonderful decision because JP was all out for 98. Tommy Nash, 27 not out, batting down the order, no doubt. Tommy, he top scored for JP, shows you the sort of day that they had. And David Devonish, our yo-yo from On a Pair, made 24. With the ball for the Gully Blues, Jesse Christensen, 4 for 15. Great day. Voz had him in his votes. Mark Butters, a butt man. He was down.
Here he comes. He's going to qualify him now.
He was down. I think that's game number 3 for Mark Butters, and only one more to qualify.
It is 4. That's been confirmed as well.
And yeah, well there you go.
Yeah.
So
4 games.
4 games to
6
qualify.
games.
Well, Colin Capon assures me that it's 4 because I asked the question on the weekend.
Oh, because we've been asking the question too, and we were told 6.
4.
Well, next
There we
week
go.
we'll get that absolutely confirmed, but it sounds like it already is if the man sitting at the top of the
I
tree
might
has
speak to you, plug it
confirmed
in,
that.
'cause you told me 6.
So Mark Butters, one more
Shane
to
Luck, you're a
qualify. He's going to be very handy for that gully side come finals time, which if they keep going the way they're going, boys, they'll be playing finals, don't worry about that. In reply, Ferntree Gully, yet another wonderful day with the bat. Off 26.4 overs, they've chased the score down, 2 for 100, done it easily again. Jeffermenko, 51 not out. I think Jeffermenko was in the runs again last week, so he's in some good form. And Jason Kilby looks like he must have taken over from Jaden's spot there at number 3, and he's come out with 28 not out. Nashi and Mitchie Lay one apiece for the Gully. For Johnson Park with the ball. So that's a few in a row now for the Gully boys. Convincing win, and they're hitting some ripping form coming to the back end of the season.
Their twos are going well too. With Harry Brown still making runs in that grade. Also, Reese Hayes Rosario, is it?
Yep.
I think he got dropped, obviously maybe at the expense of Mark Butters, but I think he got runs in the twos. The twos are flying as well down there, so they're going to have some selection headaches, especially flying the big butt man in. And
Got some very good depth.
yeah, so they're going well.
Yeah, it's a good spot to be in come the back end of the season, especially leading the finals. Have that depth there. It's a good headache to have, isn't it?
Yep, JP, get going. Boz, next one, please.
Next one I've got is the Basin taking on Ferntree Gully footballers at home. It was good to be back on our main ground. Just felt like we were playing cricket again.
Staying there for the rest of the year?
Yep. The footballers won the toss and elected to bat. They polled 9 for 175 with Liam Hunt again in the runs, making 43. Cole McElroy 25 and Gunaratne 15. The best of the bowlers for the Basin, Matty Hesketh 3 for 40. Finally been rewarded for some tough weeks where he hasn't taken any wickets but hasn't been hit for many runs. Josh Lee again bowled really well, 2 for 24. And Trent Buffer Phillips with 2 for 50. In reply, though it doesn't look too easy, I think we did it pretty easy in the 38.3rd over, making 7 for 179. Tinner making 44 and Blakey making 18. Nick Bogart 2 for 22, Liam Hunt 2 for 31 and Troy Maggs 2 for 33. We lost some late wickets when Tinner and myself put on probably 70 or 80 runs. It was looking fairly likely that we were going to win from there. We lost 3 wickets in a row, well, in the space of sort of 4 or 5 overs, but I didn't think we were ever in any trouble. It may have looked to people watching all that, but we had it pretty much in control, I thought, and it was just good to be back on the winners list and continuing to go well.
Obviously with the 71 to the man also. Now, I just spoke about Ferntree Gully in their second 11. You guys have a second 11 team that's also flying with some boys putting in some good performances down there. Any selection headaches you can see? Maybe, I guess, if it all depends on form leading into the finals, but it's also good to have such a strong second 11 going as well as they are.
Yeah, no, they're going well. I mean, our second 11's a different age demographic, I guess. I guess we're a lot older in our second 11. We don't have a lot of younger kids, although they played Ryan Hennon for the first time, a 15-year-old kid who bowled really well, took 1 for a very good cricketer for a young kid. But I mean, the only selection issue is Marcus Baxter, who's out injured at the moment. I think he's going to be back. He'll be back this week. He hasn't played, but Trent Phillips has taken his spot and done really well, and he certainly adds another element to our game. So I don't want to be selecting that one, that's for sure. But so one of them two will be going back into the twos, so I would imagine. And
clear favourites for second 11. Also, the way that they're tracking, they just take all before them. And Benny Carnell, well done, and look forward to having a drink with you with your premiership medallion at the end of the year, Benny.
Oh, nice try.
And the
nice
Basin
try.
boys, good sides, like they are, always bounce back, and you guys have done it this week after an ordinary performance last week, so well done, boys.
Yep. Next one's mine. Listerfield versus Upper Ferntree Gully. The toss won by Upper Ferntree Gully, and they've sent Listerfield into bat. That's 2 weeks in a row?
I think it is.
Yep. Listerfield off 38.5 overs were all out for 166, with Anthony Bollock making 46, Jake Arundel 26, Nathan Hicks 26. Best of the bowlers for Upper Ferntree Gully was Kobe Law 4 for 45, Tom Roloff 2 for 16, Josh Ward 2 for 32. In response, Upper Ferntree Gully were all out 36.4 overs for 127, with Tommy Roloff making 38, Corey Williams 28, Best of the bowlers for the Beaver was Tim Shivers, 3 for 14, continuing on his great season. Adam Kinnaburra, 3 for 32. Lachlan Dobson, 2 for 22. Beaver doing the Beaver. They're going well as sitting at top of the table and doing it all before them. Toss 1 sent in again. Any opinions on that, boys? I know that it seems like that was a general, trend for the round, but didn't work from last week, and it hasn't worked for them again this week.
No, but you're right in saying, I think four of the 6 games in Norm Reeves, the side that won the toss put the other side into bat.
This is the top of the ladder versus the bottom of the ladder. You reckon you win the toss, you bat first, don't you?
Yeah, maybe they're not winning games and they've got to try something. You know what I mean?
They tried it last week.
I honestly think that Upper Gully have decided with themselves that they're much better chasing a total. Now, obviously, it hasn't worked. That's obviously the decision that the skipper's made, that he believes that they see a target there, they know what they've got to get, then they can go about it by whatever means. They're falling short. Upper Gully haven't had a great season. Up against the top side of Listerfield, who keep on rolling on, and they're going to feature heavily in finals. Absolutely.
In saying that though, they've only made 166, and they're all out. So they haven't done a lot wrong.
The next game it didn't work either, so it's not. I'll make mention of that as well. It's not just because it's up.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And next game is Eildon Park versus Knoxfield, and like Howard just said, Eildon Park have won the toss and sent Knoxfield into bat, and results will show that it's happened again. That sending a side in has backfired on that side that won the toss, and Knoxfield off their 40 overs have made 9 for 161. Matty Plumridge 49 not out, well batted Matty. Bucko at the top there 34, and for the ball with for Eildon Park, Adam Brongeist. I believe Adam first came up in the first 11. I think he's come up from the 2s.
No, he played against us 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Well,
and then he went back to the 2s, and then he came back up. He's actually not a bad bowler. Bowls the outings.
Yep. Well done to Adam. 3 for 14. I was watching. I had a function on the weekend. I couldn't get down there, but I was actually watching. I think we got off to a fairly good start. Bucko and Danny Bayer at the top. And then I believe it was the first or second change that Adam's come on, and we'll 3 for in pretty quick time. So well done to Adam on a good day. Jared Hicks has skipped 3 for 22. Jacob Evans with 2 for 27. In reply, Eildon Park ended up off their 40 overs 9 for 149. So they've fallen. I think it's 12 runs short. Not a bad chase, but they haven't got there in the end. Jake Pollard 37. Jared Hicks 27. D'Souza, who was on a pair, I believe, 25 not out. So well done, son. And for the ball for the Knoxfield Knights, Young Quicks 2 for 16. Chrissy Rumble continuing on, he's bowling really well. Chris 2 for 26, and the skip Joshy Linda with 2 for 36. So that's a couple in a row for the Knights. After coming up against Howie's boys a couple of weeks ago and getting a fair old touch up, they've bounced back with 2 wins and keeps them right in contention. Econ points for the top 4, which we'll get to soon.
Yep. No, they've like you said, maybe like we always talk about your best to your worst at Knoxfield is the gap's far too great. They might have just fixed that a little bit, and it's probably the right time of the year to have fixed it.
Yeah, a couple of contributions with the bat, and it looks like a fairly even shared performance with the ball, which is always good. Don't rely on one person to get them when you're sharing them across the bowling group like that. And Trent Atkinson, I'm not sure if he got one or not, but he apparently bowled really, really well as well. So it's good work by the Knights.
We've probably left Eildon Park off the clip list here, to be quite honest, haven't we? Like, they're third bottom, only won 2.5 games. It's a side on paper, Voz, that you'd expect probably a little bit more than 2.5 games after 10 games of cricket. They're not going that great down there.
Look, they're at a rebuilding phase too. I think they lost a couple of players last year and couldn't pick up. They didn't pick up anyone, so that really hurts. And they got a lot of young kids that are coming up. I'm a bit disappointed to see that Denny, I think it's Cooper Denny, who played against us, bowled really well. He's back in the 2s now. I thought he was one you try and persevere with, but I don't know. I think it's the rebuilding phase for him. Whether it's going to keep him up or not, I'm not sure. But they certainly lack probably a player or 2 there, that's for sure.
6 games to turn the corner, haven't they?
Yes. Ladder leads, boys. Ladder reads, should I say? Sorry, with Listerfield on top with 48, Upway 45, Ferntree Gully 39, and Basin on 33. That is your 4. with Knoxfield right outside it, equal on points with the Basin on 33, Knox Gardens 30, Footballers 24, Monbulk 21, JP 18, Eildon Park 15, Belgrave 12, Upper Ferntree Gully on 6. That is your Norm Reeves results and ladder. We'll get straight on to Decoit, and Voz, can you head us off with that, please?
Yes, I've got Knox Gardens taking on Mountain Gate. Knox Gardens batting first, compiling 7 for 219 with Jay Wagner again, making runs 65. Tyler Villanis, I hope I pronounced that correctly, 56. Dylan Wild having a good year, 41, and Matthew Young, 20 not out. Best of the bowlers was Mitchy Goddard with 3 for 28. Kevy Adakador, 2 for 51. And Mountain Game in reply made 7 for 188. So they've had a good game for them. Mitchy Goddard, 86. Lukey Turner, 45. Josh Kurnell, 3 for 40. And Jack Margett, 3 for 41. The best of their bowlers. But obviously 7 for 188 is a fair chase for Mountain Gate.
Could have easily turned their toes up like they have done in previous weeks and just sort of got out for less than 100. So at least they've had a go, and really on the back of Mitchy Goddard though. And
Lukey Turner as well has made 45. So but we said at the start, those two boys have to perform to give them the best chance of winning, and they have. But unfortunately, look, they're falling short. But at least they're doing the right thing and getting them.
It's a baby step in the right direction. Like I say, it doesn't get that win that they obviously so desperately want. But hopefully it's a little stepping stone, and that comes next week, boys. We'll see how it plays out. That
188 batting first, it might have been a different result. Yeah, they get that.
Batting
tails
first,
up,
absolutely, buddy.
Tails up, and away they go. And it could have easily posted their first win. But good on you, Mountain Gate. Look, just hopefully you don't turn it around and put in another shit one next week. But on the back of that, it shows that you've got some ability. It shows that you can do it. So, Scotty's. Couple of mentions and a couple of clips might have worked, mate.
Maybe, and listen, I hope it does, and I hope, like I said, next week or within the next couple anyway, you get that first one, boys, because it's a long season, it's a long off season if you go through without getting one on the board.
Mm-hmm. Next one's mine, South Belgrave versus Alinda. Alinda won the toss and elected to bat off their 40 overs, 9 for 160, with Tim Scott 63 not out, Jonty Scott 43. Best of the bowlers for South Belgrave was Brenton Miller, 3 for 19. Ollie De Silva, 3 for 38. In response of 39 overs. Now this seems to have gone right down to the wire here. Darren Ray making 79 and Mark Baker, 25. Best of the bowlers for Alinda, Oaty. Voz has made Oaty. Matthew Oates, 2 for 38 with a couple of one-fers there. Look, Alinda would have liked their opportunity, liked their chances by the looks of this. I'd love to know how the game had actually panned out, whether they were just cruising, and it doesn't look to be. It's taken them right up to the second last over to pass them, South Belgrave. So, it was a tight little game, that one.
Yeah, their top order doesn't. I think Geordie McDermott's having not a great year by his standards, and Daniel Cormack's he's made some runs, but he's been very inconsistent as well. So, I think if their top order can make runs, they're really hard to beat, but at the moment they're very inconsistent with their performances, and it hurts. And that's one-day cricket too. So
yeah, correct. I know Darren Ray, well done with the bat again. I think I played against a long time ago, but played against Darren. Always opens the batting, and he's probably more suited to the two-day format. He's never been someone that goes and gets on with it. That's just not his style. But so to get 79 at the top, off 120 odd balls, I think it was, which is just Darren Ray's style. The boys obviously once he's gone, the boys have done the job. But with only an over to spare, they probably left it a little bit too a bit tight for comfort to be honest. But they're going all right.
I hope Alinda make the 4, just for what they came from last year to what they are this year. Their women's cricket team and the introduction. I think we spoke at the top of the season about the 40 to 50 different people, the new people that they've got into the club. If they get into the 4, they could do anything with a big tough up the top, and Scotty going well with the bat. I really hope they're in at the moment as we get to the ladders after the last game here, but they're in at the moment, and I hope they stay there.
Absolutely, totally agree. Last one, St John's Tacoma versus Roval. Roval have won the toss, they've had a bat, and they've had a bad day with the bat, all out for 112, with Luke Guest getting 30 and Monto Pereira 22 not out. Now Luke Guest was also on a pair, so he's done really well backing up from that. With the ball, Cole Grenda 3 for 15, Aaron Grenda 3 for 21, and Dean Lucas 3 for 25. That's a great share performance by the Saints. In reply, in the 29th over, St John's Tacoma have ended up 3 for 114 with Jake Sarley 51 not out. He's had a good season, Jake, and Cole Chandler 25 with Monto Pereira 2 for 21. And James Rogers chipping in with 1 for, obviously only got 3 wickets, and that's a fairly convincing win by the Saints, who had a couple of lean weeks. I actually tipped Roval, I think, in this game. I think last week, I'm sure I tipped, after speaking to Hilly down at our thirds, who Hilly sort of convinced me that on their day, Roval can win this thing, he thinks, but you're not going to win it with performances being all out for 112, and that's my bad. Right under the Saints, I'm bouncing back.
He was reasonably, excuse me, he was reasonably confident yesterday. On Sunday was Big Darren about their chances, and got back into the ones on the back of his omission the game before. But strangely enough, when you're all out for 112 and you've got a guy like Darren Hill that can whack the skin off anything, he's batting at 10. He's Darren at 10.
Well, you can't be on, looking at the score, 112, you must have lost some early wickets I think, to not slot Hilly into that middle order to try and just, you know what, it's either going to pay off or it's not. He hasn't been great with the bat, as we know, because I read him out on a pair.
I think he's gone duck one duck, I think.
Yeah, correct.
But he can still whack him.
But it's a gamble, and if it's a gamble that pays off, all of a sudden that could be a score of 180 or whatever, you know.
Put a game beyond doubt with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matter of overs.
Yeah.
Ladder reads St John's Tacoma sitting on top with 39. Equal on points is South Belgrave 39. Roval on 30. Alinda 27. Knox Gardens 27. And still to open their account is Mountain Gate. So what do we got? 5 live chances there, boys, which is good. Next week, lads, we'll get into the games straight away. The tally reads it's tight. It's a couple. We've had a movement from the big boy here. Voz on 55, Smack on 54, and Howie on 53. So going to be tight this one too. I don't know if many people are that interested in that, but us three are. Believe me, there's a fair bit going on between the three of us here. So into round 10, boys. Listerfield versus Ferntree Gully. Cracking game, this one.
I'm going to pick Listerfield.
Yeah, I'll go Listerfield at home as well.
I'm going to go with Ferntree Gully. Monbulk versus Knoxfield.
I'm going to go Monbulk at home.
I'll stick with my boys. No reason they can't get 3 in a row.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with Knoxfield.
Monbulk need to win this if they're going to avoid relegation here and have a late run at the finals. They've got to win this.
Eildon Park versus Belgrave.
I'm going to go Eildon Park.
Yeah, Eildon Park at home for me too.
I'm going to go Belgrave. Knox Gardens versus Footballers.
This is the biggest game of the lot. As in, footballers lose, they end up in the middle. I don't think they can get in. I don't think they can go in the relegation zone, but their finals chances are over, and so they'll be.
If they lose this, they're still only a game and a half from relegation.
Yeah, I still think that that puts them out of that zone. I just think that they don't win, they won't play finals. It's simple as that. It's on the line for them. And
having said that,
I'm just going to pick Knox Gardens.
Yep, Knox Gardens' form is too good for me and at home as well.
Yes, I'll go the same. Upway versus Johnson Park.
Upway.
Upway for me as well.
Yep, me also. And Upper Ferntree Gully versus the Basin.
The Basin.
I will go the Basin also.
As will I. Decoy Shield, Mountain Gate versus Knox Gardens.
Knox Gardens.
Yep, Knox Gardens.
Yep. Also, Roval versus South Belgrave.
I'm going to go South Belgrave.
Yep, I tried Rover once, it didn't work, so I'm going South Belgrave as well.
I'll stick with them as also. And Alinda St John's.
St John's.
Yep, St John's for me too.
It hurts me to say it. I'd like to go the Bloods, but I'll also hang in there. I've got too many different. I could really play this. I could play that right out. So, all right, lads, that's us. Another week for Court in the Gully. Thank you, boys, for your efforts and your time. Don't forget to tune in also for the live TV, the live action. Go to Red Onion Creative, FTG, DCA, or any of our Facebook platforms, Court in the Gully, or the competition. Until next week, don't forget the games of golf, also big weekends, the Australia Day, big weekend and week, also the free memberships and the ladies golf also. So well done, boys. See you next week.
Big week. Good luck, guys.
Good luck, lads. Well done.